Hello, I'm EG and this is Crocheting with EG, and in this video, I don't even know how to start a video without saying, and I have another yarn haul, because I don't have another yarn haul, and I'm devastated. No, I mean, if you saw my video, which is probably going to be last week, unless I've inserted the videos that I'm going to be doing with my egstitch and my Christmas bag and all that kind of stuff. If you saw my last video that wasn't about like something special that I inserted, you know that I went to Hobby Lobby and I saw the cart of yarn because it was like one of their shipment days, and I saw the cart of yarn, and then they didn't discount it that day, and so I went in the next day. And like I said, I'm a night owl. I'm not going to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning just to get yarn. And so I stay up all night and sleep all day. And so I got up and then I went over there, and like most of it was gone. And that was like really devastating. More devastating than what I'm about to say. I mean, I don't mean like devastating, but it was devastating. No, I want to start crying. No, I'm exaggerating, but and so like last week was even worse than this week, because that card had a lot of really nice yarns in it, but so I went over there and they only had like a couple skeins left, and so but that's going to happen if they wait until the next day to discount it, because I'm not going to get up in the morning just to go over there for yarn. And but this week I thought, hopefully I'll get some of the yarn. And so I went in there, and they didn't discount. I went in there probably 2 or 3 times or whatever, and I went in there and they had the cart, and I could see they were piling up the cart. I actually got a shot of it, so you can look at it. So that's all I have of that yarn is a picture. So I went in there and I saw that cart, and at the end of the day they put the cart over there like they were going to discount it the next day. And I thought, well, maybe like last week I'll at least get a couple skeins. And so I went in there and it was gone. It like even the remnant shelf was just like empty. Like they had put the yarn there and somebody just got it all. I have competition around here. Me and that woman at the register, if you saw that other video, which probably was posted weeks ago, where the woman at the register, I could tell that she wanted some of the yarn too, and I was in the middle of getting all of it. But she and I both have competition, I guess, because I missed out on all of it. So I don't know, but it really sucked and everything. And I mean, it's not that big video because I have a lot of yarn. It's not like I spent hours crying over it or anything. No, I'm just kidding. For real, I mean, it's not that big video. But it was just like, I thought, God, this is like the first time in like weeks that I've missed out on yarn, or like that I can even remember, because like when I started to notice that they had or like on the shipment days they are pulling yarn off the shelves or whatever and clearancing it around, I've at least gotten a couple skeins every single week. This is the first time I think ever I've gone in there and missed out on an entire cart of yarn. I mean, that's just like crazy, and so I mean it really sucked, but but I just couldn't believe it. And so and now I'm sort of wondering, like, okay, and I know that this is eventually, because this cannot be the norm for Hobby Lobby, like discounting yarn every single week for the rest of the business. But like it seems like when all this started, I thought, well, there's obviously like an end point to this. It's not, they don't do this every single week, until the end of time. This has to be like some kind of special thing. But like they've been continuing to do it every week, and so I knew that there was like some kind of end point to all this or whatever. But I didn't think it would be like, oh, this is like the second week in a row that they've waited until the next day. And like I said, I'm not going to get up early in the morning just to get yarn or whatever. So I mean, is this like the last time I'm going to be able to get yarn? Are they going to like change the schedule and just wait until the next day to clearance it or whatever? Because then I probably won't be able to get any more yarn. Not that I need any, but still, could this be like the last, or not even this time? Could the time before be the last time, and I only got like a couple skeins? Could it be like the last time I get yarn from Hobby Lobby, clearanced, I mean, until like the big markdown or whatever? But still, that's like months away, so it could be the last time. Okay, editing me here. Just a quick edit here. I wanted to say a spoiler alert. I have found yarn in Hobby Lobby since then. God, I'm so dramatic in the video. I'm wondering, am I ever going to find yarn in there again? Is this my last time? God, it's so stupid. But whatever. Of course, I found yarn in there since then, and I mean, like some really nice hauls, like some big ones too. And I've found yarn in other places too, and I filmed a bunch of videos and stuff already. As I'm filming this is like the beginning of January. I think I filmed that video in like what, November or something, or like as if whatever. So I have found yarn in there since or whatever. But oh, and let me say this. My table here. I just have it cockeyed here. I went like this, and then it was like the corner corner of the table. God, I'm a mess even in this like edit. Whatever. I like went like this and I wasn't even on the corner. I went like that. Stupid. Whatever. And so, but I will say this. Since filming some of my videos, I have found out, and then I mentioned it in another video that I've already filmed, but I wanted to like insert this in here as just like this, you know, interesting thing. Since I don't have any yarn to show in the video, no, ridiculous. But I realized that the yarn that's being clearanced is not just yarn from the shelves, but I think that some of it is coming in from like the shipments, because you know it's time where it's the shipment days, and so I feel like some of it is coming in with the shipments, because there was one week I went in there, and I'll talk about it, but I didn't buy this skein, but I was looking in the remnants and they had the yarn in there, and there was a skein of Uber Luxe in that yarn, and like it was in I think it was either at the end of December or beginning of January of 2026. And that yarn was discontinued months and months ago, and like it hasn't been in the store like since some idiot bought most of it. I got a nice rug out of it, but you know what I'm saying. But Uber Luxe, I could not believe the fact that Uber Luxe was in that yarn in the remnants. I thought, this has to be coming from like part of the shipment, because it's not in the store. So where the hell would the Uber Luxe come from? Unless, you know, some warehouse or whatever is like this sending out the shipments has like a bunch of yarn that, you know, was supposed to be clearanced out or whatever from, you know, different stores, and like, you know, a bunch of old dialots or like whatever, and they're sending part of that, you know, to random stores or whatever, and sending it to mine like every week. But some of it is coming from the shelves, because there was that skein from like there was that red skein that had like the metallic strand in it that I missed out on, and so like, and that was, you know, on the shelf, and then it ended up in the remnants. But like some of this yarn could be coming from like some warehouse or something somewhere. So I don't know, but like that Uber Luxe just blew my mind. I could not believe that it was in the store, and it's going to keep haunting me, that Uber Luxe. I keep, you know, complaining about it, and then it's like, oh, there's another one. Like you know, I was complaining about it, and I finally, you know, made something out of it. I made a nice rug out of it or whatever, but still, it was frustrating to work with. But and then I ended up seeing a skein of that at Goodwill one day. That was, you know, months ago, and then, you know, I see another one like in the store. Like I might have even said in a video that I'm never going to see it in the store again. But like. But there it was in the remnants. I just couldn't believe it. So that just kind of blew my mind. But anyway, so of course I've gotten yarn from Hobby Lobby since, and like some really nice big hauls. I just got one literally yesterday as I'm filming this, and I was in the store. It was like the second or third time I went in there. No, I think it was the second time. And so I went back in the store, and I heard the clicking of the price gun, and so I was like looking through the shelves, kind of like a stalker, like, you know, watching her discounting. And she was like working with some other woman, and they were like discounting the yarn. And another thing that makes me think that, you know, some of this yarn is coming from the shipment is because the yarn, there have been times where I've seen her discount the yarn, or some of the other people discount the yarn like in a cart, but she was pulling it out of a plastic box, one of those plastic bins. If you've ever been in Hobby Lobby and you go through the yarn section, and if you go in there every single day and wouldn't even notice this stuff, if you look on the top shelves, sometimes they have like these plastic bins, like these clear plastic bins with like yarn in it that needs to, like, extra that needs to be put on the shelf sometime, like if they run out. It was one of those, but it was like, you know, all the older yarn, and so she was like pulling the yarn out of that thing, and then and clearancing it, and then she put it over there on the remnants, and then I finally like sneaked over there, like as she like was walking away, I was like already putting it in my cart, whatever. And so but I have, of course, I've gotten yarn since this ridiculous, you know, dramatic video of me talking about, oh my god, the yarn haul that got away, or whatever the hell it is I said, but whatever. And so of course I've gotten yarn. I got a lot of big hauls, so, you know, get ready for all that, but whatever. And so anyway, I'll get back to the video. God, so I sort of felt like I missed out on most of it last week, and then, you know, missing out on all of it this week. I don't know. I mean, I've been really fortunate to get the yarn that I've gotten or whatever over the past few months and everything. So I can't complain about it. But I feel like I'm wondering, like, is this going to be like the end of my whole, like, you know, clearance skein hunt saga, or like whatever? I don't know. But whatever. So because I don't have any yarn to talk about, and I haven't crocheted much the past week because I'm so just down and depressed because I didn't get any yarn. No, I'm kidding. I did do some crochet, but I feel like you've probably already seen this because it's going to go in a video that I probably already posted, because of like how the order of the videos are sort of out of order. But whatever. So most of this video is going to be like, oh, indulge me, please, you know, through my grief of losing that card. No, I'm going to be talking about like random things, and it's not going to be crochet related, but because I did have some stuff ready for a video, like to go in a video or whatever, but I thought it would be like, this would be the end of the video, and it would start with like at least a yarn haul or something, and then, you know, then I could get on onto like a bunch of random stuff in one of my variegated videos. But still, but then when I didn't get any yarn, I thought, okay, now I just have like a bunch of DVDs and like, you know, some thrifty stuff or whatever. I did get a pic. I didn't get any yarn in Hobby Lobby, but I did get a picture from my mom. But I thought I'll at least talk about this, although, you know, by the time this comes out, the video that I'm going to be doing with these, I'll probably have already posted. It's going to be my egstitch tutorial, because I reached 1,000 subscribers, and so I'm going to be doing the egstitch tutorial, and so in that video I'm going to be showing off swatches of my egstitch in all kinds of different colorways, and so but I'm sure that video's already been out. So did it do well? Did you click on it? Have you made anything with the egstitch? The link will be in the description, hopefully, if I did it by now. But whatever. So, but I'll show some of the swatches. I'll talk about that. At least that'll be the beginning part of, like, you know, crochet related part of this video, and then I'll get into like a bunch of random stuff that if you don't want to watch that, it doesn't matter. You can just go off and grieve with me over the loss of, you know, so much wonderful yarn. It actually wasn't as nice as the cart before. Like, if I was going to get down, I mean, I'm not down about yarn of all things. I mean, it sucks that I missed out on yarn, and it sucks, like, you know, wondering if I'm ever going to get any more, if they're going to, you know, wait until the next day, you know, for the rest of whatever this is. It sucks in that aspect, but if I was going to get upset about any yarn, it would be the week before, because that cart was really nice. I did take pictures of that cart. Like, that was even worse, because, you know, and I did get a couple skeins, but none of the really good ones. But this cart of yarn, it seems kind of generic, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But like, it's sort of weird to me. I walk in there, I know that there's going to be yarn discounted, and I missed out on all of it. That's weird. I'm not used to it, because I'm such a, you know, ridiculous person going in there every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, just to get, you know, freaking yarn or whatever, that I probably don't need, but, you know, it's just fun as hell. But whatever. And so let me get on to something crochet related after this, you know, rambly beginning or whatever. So I did the swatches. I still have a couple more to do, you know, as I'm filming this, but, you know, I'm sure the video's already been out. But I wanted to talk about a couple of the swatches, because, you know, some of them are like, what I did was, because I wanted to do the egstitch tutorial, and then I was gonna make it a separate video to show like the swatches, but then I thought I'll go ahead and attach the swatches to the end of that video, so that way you can have the stitch tutorial, and at the end you'll have you know, all the swatches, because I picked 57 different yarns. I still have, you know, a couple more to do, but and so I don't have all of them done, but we'll show a couple of them, and because there's like a couple ones that I wanted to say something about, but they turned out really nice. I wanted to show like what the stitch looked like in as many different colorways as I could, and I was gonna pick some of the thicker yarns and stuff, but I actually wanted to do something with this, and of course by the time this, God, I hate that I'm like so off, because I know that I'm gonna be filming videos and inserting them in the videos that I've done in sequence and stuff. It's gonna be like, my videos are gonna be sort of like all over the, well, it's nothing new, but as far as the timeline goes, they're gonna be all over the place too. It's gonna be scatterbrained mess, like I'm like, I got jumbled because scatterbrain mess. It's going to be, my videos are going to be a scatterbrain, because I'm a scatterbrain mess anyway, but then it's going to be even worse because of the timeline. But if that video already came out, I'm sure I've already said in the video that what I want to do with these swatches is sew them into a blanket, and I created like a pattern to kind of sew them all together, kind of like those blankets with granny squares and stuff that are all sewn together. And I want to do that with these, and so that's why I chose like all the medium 4-weight yarns, because if I chose a bunch of thick yarns among the 57, then I couldn't like sew them all together, because it'd be like this weird patch there that would be like bigger, and it would have like thicker yarn or like whatever. So for that video, I just chose to use the medium 4-weight yarns, because I have so many of them. God, I'd have even more if I wouldn't have missed out on that card. I'm going to keep bringing it up for the rest of my life. You know, I missed out on a whole cart of yarn in 2025. Or by the time this comes out, it's probably 2026. Or 2026. All official, 2026. But I don't know. So anyway, so these are like I just made these little swatches. I made them 5 rows and 7 stitches across, you know, like 5, 7, the whole EG thing gone. So this is the swatch with the paint party. This is the yarn I used when I first created the stitch, and I wanted to see what it looked like in a really nice yarn, and so I used the paint party. So I wanted to make a swatch for that. I wanted to make a whole blanket out of the paint party. It's one of my favorite colorways. It's really gorgeous. It's like, you know, blues and purples and all kinds of pretty colors, and it gives really good stitch definition. The skeins that I've gotten. So I did want to do a paint party one. And so, but that's just like a random one. And I've said in a previous video that the reason why I started to do so many bookmarks when I started to crochet is they almost doubled as like swatches, where I would get a new skein of yarn and I'd do a bookmark. Of course, I'd only get to see it worked up in something kind of small, but it would be like a way to like have something at the end like a bookmark, but then would also double as like a swatch, where I could see what a new skein of yarn looked like worked out. And so I sort of felt that same way with doing these swatches or whatever, because there were some yarns that I've gotten in all the hauls that I've gotten or whatever that I still hadn't worked up yet, because I've been, you know, so focused on doing videos and stuff and making other things. You know, I don't really sit down and make bookmarks anymore. And so it was kind of cool to like go through my stash and pick out the 57 yarns, and then I get to have all these swatches at the end, and get to see like what a yarn looks like worked up. It's like this one, like I don't remember all the names. I have it listed in pictures taken or whatever for the video, so I can match it all up. So it's like this one is a really gorgeous swatch or whatever. Oh, and then this one. This one is from Michael's Loops and Threads yarn. A yarn that should have ended up in my store, and has never ended up in my store. As far as I think it's Loops and Threads. It's one of the purple ones. The only reason I got this is because I had that big Michael's haul where I bought a bunch of the yarn on their website. That's the only reason I have this. This should be in their store. Why the hell isn't this in their store? It's just so frustrating. I just don't get it. Like, to have gorgeous yarn like this, and it's their brand, and they don't carry it in every single store. I don't know. It's stupid. But the only one they have is in my store is this one. And which is pretty, but still, like, you know, why don't they have this one? This is gorgeous too. But what I tried to do, like when I wanted to make the 57 swatches, I went through my stash and I tried to pick out yarns from as many different brands as possible. And I picked some solids and variegated colors. I wanted like a big variety. Some with like, I wanted to make sure I had some that were regular variegated, some that were kind of tweed looking, and some with sparkle. And so I tried to, you know, have as big of a selection as I could. And so that's what I did. Like this one really surprised me how gorgeous this one was too. This is Hobby Lobby, and this is that gorgeous, and it's not going to show. See, it doesn't show up as pretty as it is in person on camera. It's that the big twist sapphire color, really gorgeous blue. I just love it. Like a teal, like it's like vibrant blue. It's really gorgeous. And but some of the other ones that are or this one, like I never expected this yarn. It's kind of like that dark plum with some purple. I mean, with some blue in it. I never expected this one to look as nice as it does, but it really does. Some of them that didn't turn out. Or here's my favorite candy stick stash from Hobby Lobby, and like some of the solids really gave good stitch definition too. I was surprised because, you know, I don't really work with a whole lot of solids, and now that I've gotten all these solids through the hauls and stuff, this isn't really a solid. This is that red that has a little bit of black, and I love that. But like some of the solids, like, it was surprised me how much I love those. Like this yellow, I mean, how gorgeous. You can really see all the stitches in that. But whatever. And so, but I have all these swatches. But some of the ones that I wanted to talk about that, like a little story behind them. I did do one of those that has hemp in it. That one from Hobby Lobby that has like hemp in it or whatever. I was shocked at that it didn't turn out very well. I mean, it really doesn't. Like, I mean, I'm gonna use all these swatches for my blanket, but I almost want to just not use this. I want to use, like, pick a different one or something. It didn't turn out as nice as I was hoping it would, because there are some tweed yarns that turn out really nice, but it didn't turn out as nice as I thought. I don't know, just like the stitches don't even like the stitch definition. Maybe it's just like it was like on the thinner side, the yarn. Oh, and then this one. This is the Premier Basics, the Prism colorway. This turned out really nice. I love this yarn. I mean, you could see like practically every single color in just like the smallest area. I love this yarn. I wish I had more of this yarn to make something significant, because I only got that one skein, and so no, I got two skeins. Oh yeah, I have my obligatory bald spot shot in my video. No, I did get two of those, but still. Oh, and I did get that other skein that was the Premier Basics, or this one. This one turned out really nice too. I love this one too. But I really loved working with that Premier Basics yarn, and like how variegated these are. I really love those. And I wanted to do a swatch of like as many different brands as I could. And the only mandala or whatever it is. No, I'm thinking of that whole like Chucky joke I had, that whole Dembala thing. The mandala was it was I tried not to pick a striped yarn because I knew that it wouldn't show all the colors in like a small swatch. I wanted to pick ones that with smaller color changes or shorter color changes. And so but the only mandala or whatever I had was like the striped yarns. And so I did do one of those. I was shocked how, I mean, this is like thinner than the other ones, but I was shocked how nice it was to work with this. I mean, it's almost like, it's like if plush yarn, if they made plush yarn that was like really thin, like, I mean, like medium 4-weight thin, or this feels like a light medium 4, but still it was so nice and smooth to work with this. I was really shocked because I thought this was would be, because it's thinner and everything, but it's almost like it has like a squishy element to it. It kind of reminds you of the like working with chenille yarn. I was really shocked at that. I really like that. And then one that I was really disappointed with, I had gotten in my big Yarn Inspirations order, I was looking at, and Bernat had a variegated colorway, and which I didn't even know that they had like regular medium 4-weight yarn, and they had this colorway, whatever it is. I actually did not. This was like the worst one to do. I mean, it wasn't hard working with this yarn from Hobby Lobby, the one with the hemp in it, but this was like, it was so scratchy and splitty. I could not believe how, like, I was, when I was working with it, I thought, okay, well, I'm glad that Bernat only had like one colorway on their on Yarn Inspirations website to get, because I did not like working with this at all, and that was like a really disappointing, because it's a really pretty colorway, and I thought, well, I'll get their one variegated colorway when I went to Yarn Inspirations and got that big order months ago, but I was so disappointed in working with this. It was just like so splitty and just, I don't know, and like scratchy, like, worse than like Red Heart scratchy. It just, I don't know. Or no, that one skein I used for my teddy bear sweater, that was worse than this, but still, it was like, it was kind of scratchy and splitty to work with. That was kind of disappointing. I guess they're so used to like making all the plush yarns and the blanket yarns and stuff, but I don't know, I just wasn't crazy about this. And then but I'll end on something positive. I used Lion brand yarn, one of the yarns I had gotten from Joann before they closed. Even this yarn, I kind of wondered, like, is this going to be hard to work with? Is it going to be, it just sort of felt like it's going to be splitty, or it feels a little bit thinner than the other yarns and stuff. It's just like black with the tweed in it. And then I have Vanna White's yarn, that's from Lion brand too, like Vanna's Choice. And then even her yarn felt a little like on the thin side, maybe like it could be splitty. It just kind of reminded me of like yarn that would be thin and splitty to work with. I was shocked at how wonderful this yarn was. I mean, like, you would never think, like, if you've worked with as much yarn as I have, you would think, oh, this is going to be so splitty and thin to work with, and it's not going to have any good stitch definition. It's going to be all. This was so nice to work. I couldn't believe it. I mean, like when I worked up Vanna White's yarn, which I was excited to work with, because this is a really pretty colorway. This, I think it's like denim blue or denim whatever it is, because it reminds you of blue jeans. Like when I got that yarn, I was kind of excited to work with it and everything, because it was a really pretty color, and it was kind of cool to, like, support St. Jude and buy Vanna White's yarn, because I watch game shows, because I'm getting old. I love Wheel of Fortune, all that kind of stuff, and game shows in general, but I was really excited to get this yarn and everything, and then but then when it got here, I was thinking, I don't know if it's going to be like splitty or like, I don't know, but then when I worked it up, I was like, I cannot believe it. I mean, this is so, like, it blew my mind. It just completely exceeded my expectations. And so so what sucks is that there aren't that many colorways of Vanna White's yarn, and like, this is the only one that has is like a really vibrant color. All the rest of them are kind of like neutral earth tones and stuff. She doesn't have any like really like this kind, or like big variegated skeins like that, so that kind of sucks. But God, this was so nice to work with. And so now I'm thinking I want to start getting a bunch of Lion brand yarn, because I never really bought any before. I know that my Michaels has some, but you know, otherwise I've never bought it before. And like I said, Joann closed. Like I finally got to go to Joann, like, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times, and then, you know, they ended up closing. And so I never really got a chance to like really enjoy Joann and their selection, and, you know, get a whole bunch of yarns and stuff. But I did get this one. When my mom and I went to Joann before they closed, we were looking at their yarn, and it was like marked down. It wasn't like the big markdown. It was probably like, you know, 30% off or 40% off or whatever it was. It was like, it was before like the really big deep discounts. And so we were looking through there, and she was like picking some yarns. Oh, you should get this one, and I was like picking some, and she picked out this one, and I thought it was cool. Like, this is before I'd worked with any kind of tweed, but I was like, I don't know, it just sort of reminds me of like yarn that would have like little bits of like fuzz in it or something. I don't know. I wasn't used to like the idea of tweed yarn. I didn't know how it would work up, and I've seen people work it up, and it looks really cool. And so I'm glad I got this. But this is one that my mom picked out, and she said, "Oh, this is kind of cool. You know, I get this." And so I went ahead and got it. But and then when I got it home, I was like, "This is going to be." But this is so, I could not believe, it was so easy to work with. I was shocked, like both of these. And so I'm really, I want to get a bunch of Lion brand yarn now. I need a room on this. Now that Hobby Lobby, I'm going to be missing out on yarn from Hobby Lobby. Maybe I could start looking for some Lion brand yarn. I know it's going to be more expensive than, you know, $1.24 a skein, but still. But I'm really excited about Lion brand yarn. I need to get me some more of that. But whatever. And so that's like the crochet part of this video, which you've probably already seen. But, you know, I don't think I'm going to talk about like all the different stories in that video, because it's going to be my stitch tutorial from the right-handed version, you know, because I'm right-handed, and then I'm going to flip it, and like, even saying this, you probably already know this, and then I'm going to flip it for left-handed people, and then at the end I'll probably put all the swatches and stuff. And so, but I'm not going to. The video's going to be long enough. I'm not going to take the time to, you know, talk about each one of the yarns. I'm just going to, you know, say which ones they are, and all that, and just show them really quickly or whatever. But I wanted to, you know, highlight a couple of them and that I've done, and you know, tell whether it's a positive or negative about the yarns. But anyway, so let me get on to, you know, something else. But I went into Hobby Lobby, and of course, you know, I didn't get any yarn, but they did have this really cool picture, and I bought it for my mom. They have their Christmas stuff, you know, 50% off, because of, you know, or they always have their Christmas stuff 50% off. Because once they get their Christmas stuff in, like, it's always 50% off. Unless it's, like, near the end, you know, after Christmas, and then they, you know, drop it even further. But you know, most of the time, you know, leading up, you know, like, as soon as they get it in, it's, like, already 50% off, practically. But they had this picture, and it's adorable. It's this little kitty, and it has, like, a cup of, like, you know, hot cocoa or coffee or whatever. And so I bought this for my mom, and it's really pretty. And it was $13.99, but it was half off, so it was only $7. So in my last video, or you know, one of my videos ago, it's the last video I filmed, I was talking about the tapestry I have in my living room over my window that I bought for my mom to, like, give her a white Christmas, and it looks like a window with a snow scene outside of it. And so I have this over that, like, you know, over the corner of it. It's like the tapestry ends here, and then this, you know, is on the wall, you know, next to that. It's because we just love Christmas, and she loves kitties and stuff, and so it's just like a really gorgeous little picture that I bought for my mom. When I wasn't buying yarn. I'm going to keep bitching in it. And then, where's that? They got mixed in with all the swatches. I bought some fingerless gloves, and you may already know this. I don't know if I needed to wear these for the EG Stitch tutorial, or my Christmas bag tutorial, or because by the time this comes out, that's probably already been posted too. Even though I haven't done it yet. But with winter coming and stuff, and my hands, you know, I have OCD anyway. My hands get, you know, dry and cracked. But then, like in the winter, or like the late fall and winter and stuff, my hands get really cracked anyway. And then with my OCD and washing my hands all the time, they get really bad. They're not as bad as they usually get, but they do get kind of bad sometimes. And so I bought these fingerless gloves. They're like compression gloves. I bought them at Walmart, and so just to use them in a video if I need to. And so it it'll cover up my ugly hands with these like, you know, ridiculous gloves. But I did buy these, and I don't know if I did show it in a video or whatever. I thought of this like joke to I thought it'd be funny to say that I'm wearing the, I don't know if I'm even going to say it in the video, but I'll say that the joke that I thought in my head, which I thought was funny, is I was going to say I'm only wearing these gloves because my hands are all messed up because I got into a fight with somebody over a clearance jar. But of course I didn't, because there wasn't any left. No, see how I'm going to bring it up for the rest of my life. I'm going to remember the haul that got away, and I'm going to be in some retirement home or whatever, and you're like, okay, EG, we know you missed out on a haul in 2025, like, you know what I'm saying, but whatever. So I don't know, I like threw those down. I'm still frustrated because I missed all that yarn. Like, no, like I'm just like, I feel like screaming. No, But I did get this compression gloves, or those fingerless gloves. I could make some fingerless gloves or whatever, but I wanted to get some that were like really thin and that were like skin tight. Because you know, if I'm going to be crocheting and stuff, I didn't want to use like fingerless gloves or like just regular gloves even, with like the tips cut off, to, you know, crochet with, because I wanted it to be like I wanted to be so adhered to my skin that it almost felt like I didn't have them on. But I wanted to just, you know, have them to cover up my hands, you know, like aging celebrities do sometimes. And I went to look for some Christmas. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking, God, it's like February. It's like Valentine's Day. What are you talking about Christmas for? That's how, you know, far ahead I am in filming and stuff. But I went looking for Christmas ornaments because, like I said, my family loves Christmas, and it's a really important part of our family and stuff. And the story about my grandfather and my grandmother that I've already told in videos, and I have my Christmas tree up all the time. It's been up for years at this point, and so we just love Christmas, and so I always get excited when the stores get Christmas stuff in, because you know, I get to look at all the Christmas ornaments and stuff, and they're starting to get like fandom related Christmas ornaments, and it was really cool. And I haven't seen a Lucy ornament in the frickin' store for years. I used to go into our local Hallmark store years ago and get their I Love Lucy Christmas ornaments every year. They haven't had one for years, and so that sucks. But I do have some really nice Lucy ornaments. But I love Christmas and going to the stores and see what ornaments they have. And so I went into Target, and God, I hadn't been in Target for, you know, months or whatever. I went into Target. Their Christmas ornaments were just really bad. Like I was like I was disappointed that how bad their Christmas ornaments were. I didn't get any of them, and so that really sucked. And it's not like, there was one day when I walked in there. I don't go there that often, but I went in there and they didn't have all the Christmas ornaments yet. It was like right after Halloween, and so I thought, well, okay, well, I'll go in the next time. Maybe they'll have their Christmas stuff out. And then I thought, when I walked in there, I thought, oh, did they not fill it up yet? But I thought, no, like every single shelf has ornaments on it. It was like, these are the only ones that they had. I don't know, I was really disappointed in their Christmas ornaments, so I didn't get any of those. But I did go to Walmart, and they had their Christmas ornaments. I love these ornaments. Oh my God. So I was looking in their ornaments, and they had this pretty butterfly, and it's almost like it's plastic, but or acrylic probably, but it's almost like not acrylic, like yarn, like the yarn that I didn't get at Harvard. You're gonna get so sick of me talking about it. I'm probably like, you know, 50 videos from now, it's still. Remember the haul that I missed? Hopefully it wasn't the last haul that I'm ever going to come across in Hobby Lobby, and then it turns out I missed the last haul, but whatever. And so, but it's like acrylic, whatever. It looks like a jewel in this butterfly. And the reason why I got this one is because the first ornament I found, because it wasn't over there where the ornaments were. It was where when you first walk into Walmart during the holidays, and they have those aisles like right when you walk in the door, and they have like you know the stuff that you buy for like the people you. I guess I have to buy, you know, so and so some kind of soap set or what, like, you know, that you know, area with all the like the quick buys for, you know, gifts and stuff for people. And so I was looking in there because they have like Dolly Parton Christmas stuff, and I've said in previous videos I love Dolly Parton, and they had a Christmas ornament. They did have another one, but this is the one I really wanted, and it's her coat of many colors. I could not believe this is adorable. It's one of those, like, I haven't even taken it out of the box yet because I don't want anything to happen to it, but it's one of those like glass ornaments, and it looks like her coat of many colors. And the thing about this is I brought these DVDs in here too, but we love these these movies, the Dolly Parton movies, Coat of Many Colors and you know, Circle of Love, or I mean, you know, Christmas of Many Colors, Circle of Love, and so these movies they play on TV all the time around the holidays. But we first watched them when they were on like NBC or whatever it was, and then we bought the DVDs, and I love these movies, and they're a little like, you know, saccharine or whatever. Like it's like, but it's like a Dolly Parton movie, and they're adorable. And what kind of sucks is that these they had this like big cast of like really great characters and stuff, and you know, telling her life story. Well, and the little girl, she got better in the second. She's the girl that grew up and was in the Chucky series, the TV show. So seeing her in that, after seeing her like being so familiar with her in these, it was like really shocking. But she's a really good actress. But she in the second movie especially, she really nailed Dolly's voice when she was singing. And so what sucks is like the potential that these. They had this, you know, amazing cast of amazing cast of people to play her, like Dolly Parton's life or whatever, and they didn't continue the story or whatever. It kind of sucked. And then there was I don't know, I can't remember which movie it was in. It's practically like, you know, a two-part miniseries kind of thing. You watch them together, and so there was one where Dolly and the little girl that plays her does this duet, and I was thinking, why didn't they have a soundtrack of this? You would think Dolly would have, you know, put out a soundtrack. They eventually put out the song "Circle of Love" on Dolly's Christmas album, but like all the other songs, they weren't there. A Coat of Many Colors is, you know, it's like one of her iconic songs. But like I'm talking about the versions from the movie and the other actors singing and stuff. And then when she did that duet with Dolly, I think it was in the second movie. I can't remember. But she did that duet with Dolly. I was thinking, God, what a wasted potential that, you know, Dolly didn't do like a CD with her with that little girl playing Dolly and her doing like a duet with like her younger self of like her iconic songs. That would have been like really cool. But then to have like the set built and like this big cast, and then they do these two movies and they didn't continue it, and like even like a TV show, or like, you know, Netflix couldn't have made a TV show out of it. I know that they did that Heartstrings or whatever, but it's not the same as like, you know, Dolly's life. Those were episodes. I still haven't watched all of them, but I've watched a couple of them. They were really good. They're episodes based on Dolly's music. So they took one of Dolly's songs and then they sort of wrote a story around that one song, and then they would do it for another song and all that kind of stuff. But it's not the same as like, you know, telling her life story. But we just love these movies around, especially around Christmas. And so to see this, I mean, it literally looks like the Coat of Many Colors. I mean, I cannot believe that. And so this is going to go on our Christmas tree. I mean, I love this so much. And so I found that at Walmart. I can't remember how much this was, but whatever it was, it was worth it, every penny. And so the reason why I bought this butterfly is because, you know, there's a lot of butterfly imagery with see it like, you know, the butterfly thing. It's an iconic symbol in Dolly Parton's you know, brand and aesthetic and in her life and stuff. And so when I found this, I thought I wanted to get this anyway, just because you know how it looks like a big jewel. But then when I had them both in the cart, I was thinking how cool it was almost like this perfect thing that I didn't really plan. It's like it's a butterfly just like Dolly Parton. And so I got those two ornaments and stuff. I'll put those on our Christmas tree. And then so I went to Goodwill, and they had this book, Special Effects in the Movies. You know how I have TV and movie references. I'm really going to enjoy this book. There's a section in here about the Wizard of Oz, and like it's shocking how well the special effects in the Wizard of Oz hold up. I mean, the tornado, like that was in like the 1930s or something, and watch that scene now, even in HD, it still holds up after so many years. But it's in black and white. It's an older book or whatever, but there's all kinds of interesting things in here. And you know, I love TV and movies and stuff. And one of the things I used to love about DVDs and why I have so many of them is the special feature. They used to put a lot of effort and work and stuff into the DVDs and the DVD sets and stuff, like all the special features and all the like the commentaries and all the behind the scenes stuff. I love that kind of stuff because I love television and movies, and I love the behind the scenes kind of stuff too. You know, the making of specials and like all that stuff. And so this is really gonna you know, fascinate me. I love this. This isn't the first book like this I've gotten. I've gotten all kinds of behind the scenes books and stuff, and then there's all kinds of, you know, wonderful things on DVDs that I'll talk about, you know, eventually, probably on my website. I don't know if I'm going to waste a video talking about, you know, a bunch of DVDs and stuff, but anyway. Speaking of DVDs, there's a lot of DVDs in here. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but I do have some DVDs in these hauls that aren't yarn. You're going to get so sick of me talking about it. And then at Goodwill they had themes from hit TV shows, and it has all these like, it looks like it's some kid, you know, colored all over it or scraped it with something or whatever, like a pen. But it has all these depictions of like, you know, old TV shows and stuff. It's like this record album. Oh, this way. I got this from my mom, but you know, it's kind of for me too, because I love that. And it has this like depiction of the Waltons down here, and then Little House on the Prairie, which we love too. And so it's just really cool, like, you know, record album. I don't even know if the record's in good shape or anything, but it's kind of cool. I mean, it looks really good. I mean, the box is like really messed up or whatever. I'm sure some kid did that, or some, you know, prick teenager or whatever. Oh, there's All in the Family, you know. Oh, Archie! No, but anyway, and see, told you, TV record. And then they had this Blu-ray, the Best of Soundstage. And the only reason I got this is because there's some really good performances on here. There's one from Ringo Starr, and so that's going to go with my mom's Beatles collection. But there's some really good performances on here. And, you know, Hart and George Jones and Chris Isaak and Jewel and a couple from Jewel. Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, Foreigner, Sheryl Crow, Tom Petty, and and the Heartbreakers. And so there's that. Got that at Goodwill. And I've talked in a previous video, there's a store in my town, or there's a couple stores like this, but there's a store in my town where they get like pallets of stuff in, like, you know, overstock or like old Amazon stuff, or like probably Amazon returns, or things that, or there's nothing wrong with it, but like, you know, stuff that people return to Amazon and they don't like resell it. Or sometimes it's like, you know, a big pallet of like Target stuff that didn't sell, or Dollar General stuff that didn't sell. They get in like these giant pallets or whatever, and then they just like, you know, open the stuff and put them on these tables that are like, have these sides on them, and they can just kind of dig through them or whatever. And there's one store in my town that has like a $5 day and a $3 day and a $1 day, or like whatever. You can go in there and like all the stuff that you dig through is like $1 a piece, or all the stuff is like $3 a piece. The day I went in this day, all the stuff was $3 a piece, and I got a couple things, like really nice stuff. I mean, I can't believe how nice some of this stuff was. I found this really pretty jewel encrusted necklace for my niece, and it has all these like big diamond looking jewels hanging off the front of it and stuff. And I don't know if it's supposed to be like a choker or not, but on her it won't be, because, you know, she's just a kid. But I think she'll really like that necklace. So I found that $3 for that. So it's obviously not real diamond, but she won't care. And I found these like soundproofing panels or whatever, the ones that, you know, like those podcasters, you know, put on the wall, like, you know, every couple of feet or whatever, just to help get rid of the echo in the room and all that kind of stuff. And so I may use these, I don't know, but I just thought it was a kind of cool. $3 for these. So I don't know if I'll use these or not, because I think there's enough buffer on my wall with all this yarn in here. I don't think I even need these, but I thought for $3 I'll use them for something. And if I do put them on my wall, at least I'll have, you know, these on my wall, and I can say, oh, I have padding on my wall, but it's not because I'm, you know, in some, you know, hospital. It's just because, you know, I'm doing a podcast, or God, can you imagine me with a podcast? You know, podcast. Anyway. And then they had this, and it's like this Harry Potter bag, and I was really excited about it. And then when I was looking at it when I got home, I was thinking, oh crap, it looks like it's messed up. But no, what it is there's two of them in here. And so I got two of these bags, like, you know, $1.50 each, because I didn't even know that there was two in here. But it's like this really cool Harry Potter like zipper bag or whatever. I could put like, you know, crochet hooks or something in it. I don't know. Like, because I have two, I could probably like keep one on my or I was gonna say wall. It's more than a wall, but I do have a lot of like Harry Potter stuff. I could keep one like with my collectibles, and I can actually use one. But it has all these like, you know, really cool cartoon clip art looking depictions of like some of the Harry Potter stuff. But I couldn't believe that was in there for only $3. $3 for two of them. Oh, and I did get my brother, or it's going to be his Christmas gift, so it's up there with some of the Christmas stuff. I'll put an insert shot or whatever, but I found him these, like, grill pans. They're like these, you know, sort of oblong metal pans, and it has like this thing that goes on, like a handle that you can detach or whatever, and it goes on a grill where you can, like, grill vegetables and stuff without worrying about them going through the grates and all that kind of stuff. Like, I could not believe, I looked it up on Amazon, and those things were like, I think like $40 or something, or like some crazy amount. Got them for $3, and so that's gonna be a really, because he loves to grill out and everything. You know, that's what he did when we had our like birthday celebration, you know, a few months ago, and so he's really gonna love that. And so it was a really cool, like a really good deal finding out for $3. But so I think that's all that I got from. Oh no, wait, there was this thing. what sucks is I didn't really know what this was, because like the good thing about that store is the people, you go in there and it says like do not open any boxes, but you don't have to worry about it because before you somebody's already opened up the boxes, and like, because when you go in there there's like multiples of things. This is the only pack of this that I found, but there are like multiples of things in there, and so not always, but like if there's like a box that isn't open, you can probably find whatever was in that box somewhere else because somebody has already opened it, and so you can kind of get a glimpse of like what's in boxes. And there's like little labels, like these Amazon labels and stuff. It reminds me of the ones that come on Amazon stuff. So sometimes you can kind of decipher it from like the convoluted mess of letters there, but or like whatever the description is. But sometimes you just have to kind of get it and hope that it's something nice. But this looked like one of those tapestry like backdrop kind of things. And so I got this, and I mean it's really nice. It's like a nativity scene. I can't open it because it's really big, but it's like this giant nativity scene, and so it's a nice Christmas backdrop or whatever. But I don't know if I'd ever use that, but I was, because it says something about Christmas, and so what I was hoping it would be more like a Christmas tree and like that kind of thing. But it's just a nativity scene. It just says Christmas MA, and so I don't know what MA stands for. Mary, because I think Mary's on there. And then ground photo studio props. So I just saw like Christmas MA. The word I thought in my head was magic. I thought like Christmas magic is like make magical sparkly thing. That's the kind of Christmas that I enjoy, like all the decorations and the trees and like all. But it's a nativity scene. It's a really gorgeous backdrop tapestry kind of thing. But it's not what I wanted it to be. I was hoping it would be like a really pretty Christmas backdrop. But that was $3 too. And so that's all the stuff that I got from that store. And I went to Salvation Army, and they did have some yarn. It wasn't very good yarn. It was they were pretty big bags of yarn, but it just wasn't very good yarn, and so I didn't get any of it. I should have. No, this was before the day I missed out on the Hobby Lobby yarn, because like sometimes if I miss out on yarn at Hobby Lobby, I feel like, well, I see that yarn at Goodwill or somewhere, and I don't really need it, but like I feel like, well, at least I'm gonna get some of it. No, I'm exaggerating, but I wouldn't have gotten that yarn. It was like sort of a clumped up mess. It looked like kind of old looking yarn or whatever, but they did have a whole bunch of it, like 2 big bags of it. But and the prices in there, it's getting a little ridiculous for like. That's given to them too. I know it's a charity and stuff, but still, they're giving that stuff too, just like Goodwill. So the prices shouldn't be, $17.99 for like a little tiny bag of yarn, like literally like this big. And for it to be old-looking yarn, I would see, I can see if it was like brand new skeins, like really nice skeins that still had the labels on them and all that kind of stuff. But like this was like old-looking yarn, so I didn't get any of it. But they did have this ridiculous like clothespin thing, and I'm gonna give this to my niece. I have like a really huge thumbtack, and that blew her mind like years ago when she was a little kid. And nowadays she just think, oh, it's just like a thumbtack. Okay, it's like big. Okay, whatever. Because she's like she's getting older, but like it blew her mind to see that giant thumbtack or whatever. And so it may blow her mind. I don't know if it will or not because she's turning 11. But I saw this is like really cool, like this big clothespin. I'll have to see if I have a magnet I can like hot glue to it so I can like hang it up, or it would probably be really heavy. But I don't know. She can. She has like marker boards and all kinds of stuff in there, and cork boards, and so she can like use it in her playroom, use it as a little clip to like hang up some of her pretty art or something. But I just thought that just the novelty of like a giant clothespin, I just thought that was kind of hilarious. And the rest of this is just DVDs. I went to a couple pawn shops and got some DVDs. I'm not going to go through them in detail and stuff. I'm just going to like show them, and then because I've appreciated like when I show a couple DVDs and I say I haven't seen this movie, and I appreciate it when you say like, oh, you have to watch that movie, it's really good and all that kind of stuff. So I really just blind buy these and stuff, and then if they turn out to be like crappy movies, I'll just like put them at the yard sale stuff and like sell them at a yard sale or something. But A Remarkable Life, I got that because it has Eric Roberts in it. This one, Death Valley, it has Ryder Strong in it from Cabin Fever and Boy Meets World, whatever. Train Spotting. I've heard of this, but I've never actually sat down and watched this. But I did buy this knowing what this was. But I got that. Firstborn has Elizabeth Shue in it. She's a really good actress. I don't know if this would be any good or not. Some of those like paranormal kind of movies just aren't as good. They're really hit or miss. But I don't know if this would be any good or not. Bless the Child with Kim Basinger. That might be good. I don't know. Mannequin and Mannequin 2 on the Move. I don't know if these. I've heard of these, but I've never watched these before, but I thought, you know, a 2-movie set, and these were like $1 a piece at a pawn shop. And then I went to another pawn shop. This is the last thing. And their movies were 4 for $1. And I couldn't believe it. They had like a big wall full. And then they had like some boxes. And so I took my time looking through them. And I blind bought some of these. You know, some of these are like really good movies. And so they were only 25 cents a piece. I couldn't believe it. They're not as good as a deal as I've gotten in other pawn shops. Like that pawn shop where I've got these other movies. There have been times I've gone through there, gotten a stack of DVDs, you know, take it up to the register and say, I'll just take them, like for free. So I've gotten a better deal on DVDs than these, but still, 25 cents is a really good deal for these DVDs. I got a couple of the vacation movies. I've never actually seen these. The only scene I've seen in Vegas Vacation is the one where she sings that song, you know, that Minnie Riperton song or whatever, with Wayne Newton, and like hits that high note or whatever. I've seen that scene, but like otherwise, I've never actually seen these movies. I know this is like some iconic Christmas. I love Christmas so much, but I've never actually seen this, even though this is supposed to be like some iconic Christmas movie. I think my brother has seen this like dozens of times. He's mentioned it a couple of times before. You know, you haven't seen that movie? No, I haven't seen any of these, but I did get those too. Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio. He looks pretty young in that, and so I don't know if that'd be any good or not. The Karate Kid movies, I've never seen these, but they're all 4 of them, 25 cents. So, you know, a little more than a nickel a piece. No, 25 cents for all 4 of those. And so my mom was with me when I got this, and she said, oh, those are actually pretty good. I don't know if she's seen the other ones, but I know she's seen like the first few. And so she said it was good. And this is a season of something. Dispatches from Elsewhere. I don't know. I got it because Jason Segel and Sally Field is in it. Jason Segel from Freaks and Geeks, and Sally Field from Sally Field from like every freaking movie that's ever been made. I don't know. Mrs. Doubtfire is the one that I know her most from. This one, Anywhere But Here, with Susan Sarandon and Natalie Portman. I do love both of those, and I've never seen this before. But it sounds familiar, but I think I'm getting it confused with the one where she's pregnant and she's living in Walmart or whatever. I think I'm getting it confused with that one. And that's not what this one is, but I did get that because I do love both of them. And then they had Power Rangers SPD. Like, the only Power Rangers I ever watched was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then a couple of the spin-offs like Zeo and I think after Zeo, I stopped watching it. I have all the ones already that I remember from my childhood, but I thought, you know, this is the complete series of SPD. I don't know, because there's a couple of the later seasons that have some appearances by the original Power Rangers, and so I only got that because this is a quarter, and I thought if they do make some kind of appearance in one of these episodes, I'll have to look into it. If they do, then I'll keep this, and if not, I can always sell it. But I thought, might as well take the chance, 25 cents. And then 4 of the Freddy Krueger movies. I know I have the original Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think I have the first couple of them. And I know I have New Nightmare, but I don't know if I have these other ones, like the Dream Child and Final Nightmare and Freddy vs. Jason. So I got this. It's like the 4 movie set. But of course I have it. New Nightmare is my favorite. After the first one, of course. And then this movie, You Again, it has like some pretty good people in Jamie Lee Curtis and Betty White and Kristen Bell, and I don't know if that'd be any good or not, but got that. This one's brand new. Come Early Morning has Ashley Judd. Hasn't even been opened. But yeah, I do love Ashley Judd, so I thought, get that. And this one called Twin Towers. It's some kind of documentary about 9/11, so that might be good. And then they had like a couple you could tell who had all these a couple like redneck stand-up specials. They are funny. I used to watch these all the time. I love stand-up comedy, and I used to watch the stand-up comedy specials that used to air on Comedy Central. They don't hardly air comedy. I don't even think do they even air stand-up specials on Comedy Central anymore. It used to be like tons of like the stand-up comedy, like the 30-minute episodes or like the big specials and stuff. I love stand-up comedy, and so of course I've seen these. But like the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, One for the Road, Larry Cable the Guy, Get Her Done, and then Jeff Foxworthy, Totally Committed. And so they had like I have a lot of stand-up DVDs in my collection because I do love stand-up comedy, and no matter what kind of stand-up comedy it is. I don't have a whole lot of like redneck comedy or whatever, but I've seen these and they are funny, so I did get those. I got this one, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past with Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Garner. I do love Jennifer Garner, and my mom really loves Matthew McConaughey after A Time to Kill. If you watch that video, I was talking about bought, you know, I bought, you know, a couple copies of A Time to Kill, looking for it for her. And so she does love this, so this might be good with Jennifer Garner. I do love Jennifer Garner. And then Friday the 13th, the Killer Cut. This is it must be like the remake of Friday. I've never seen the original Friday the 13th. I have like the box set. I actually got the entire series of Friday the 13th, like all the movies, in this big box set at a pawn shop that I'm surprised it's even still open. I mean, it's on its way out. But you know, near the end of like when I stopped going there, they were selling their DVDs off for like 25 cents a piece. Like, and not just like the regular DVDs like this, but like the box sets and stuff too. I got those like big deluxe editions of like the Blu-ray sets of like, you know, all the Lord of the Rings movies in one, and then all of the prequel movies in one, and I got those for 25 cents a piece in there. I mean, that was like a crazy deal. Like, look it up on eBay and see how expensive those are. I couldn't believe that. I've never seen the prequels. I know I've seen Lord of the Rings. I think I saw it on TNT years ago when they were marathoning them or whatever, but like I couldn't tell you, like, or I could tell you a couple random things about it, but like it's sort of like Star Wars, where even though I haven't seen Star Wars, I could tell you like all kinds of things about it, and like just because of pop culture and stuff. And Lord of the Rings, I know I've seen it. I can tell you like a couple things, like a couple characters, but like otherwise I don't really remember that much about it. But I do have the big deluxe Blu-ray or whatever. I only spent 25 cents on it, but I do have a big set with all the Friday the 13th movies in it. I just haven't watched them yet. And I don't think I've ever watched any of those before, but I do have all of those, and so there's 25 cents. This and the box set that I was talking about. And then Measure of Revenge with Melissa Leo and Bella Thorne. I don't know if that's any good or not. Three Men and a Little Lady with Tom Selleck and a couple, or Ted Danson from Becker. And so I don't know if that would be any good or not. And I feel like, is this like the original, or is this like one of the, I know that there's like Three Men and a Baby, Three Men, like I don't know, how many movies are there of these? I'm asking like as if I can Google it, you know, IMDb or whatever. But I'm like, you know, openly asking myself. But I wonder how many there are of this. If this is like if I could just like watch this, or if I need to watch the first 2 or 3 or however many. And then this one, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I don't know. I got that from my brother. You know, 25 cents. It seems like some kind of movie that he would like, especially because he loves Jason Statham. And so you know, Jason Statham is in this. I don't think I've ever gotten him this before. Like, there was one Christmas where I got him all the Jason Statham movies, but I don't think this was a part of any of those sets that I got him, or any of the individual ones that we found him that Christmas. But I got that for him. And then and Powder. I've heard of this, but I haven't seen this before. But I don't know if it'd be any good. Mary Steenburgen, I really like her. So it might be good. But I've heard of that, but I've never seen it before. But, you know, 25 cents. So anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. God, I know that, like, here at the end, you're thinking, oh my God, like, what are you talking about? Like, showing all these movies and stuff and everything. I'm just trying to work through my grief. Like, no, I'm just, it's ridiculous. But I'm not used to not getting a haul, but whatever. And so anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video, whatever the hell this is going to look like. And I hope you enjoyed looking at the swatches, which you've probably already seen. I hope you enjoyed looking at them, but the first time when I posted it, the stitch tutorial, probably a month ago. And I hope you enjoyed looking at them again now. And I hope you enjoyed all this other like random stuff or whatever in one of my variegated videos. God. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. I mean, it's a wonder I haven't gotten into a fight over yarn. I mean, if you're wanting any yarn in my town, you're going to have to beat me. And I mean, like, literally. I don't mean, like, you know, oh, you're going to have to beat me to it. I mean, you're going to have to, like, beat me because I will fight you for it. I mean, no, I'm exaggerating. Not really. But if I do get into a fight over yarn, like some, you know, crazy person, because maybe the next time I see it, I'm going to think, I'm going to grab it like crazy because I missed out on a whole cart. Here I am missing it again. At least I'll have some gloves to, you know, cover up my, you know, messed up hands over after getting into a fist fight with some dude. Like, no, it's mine. I know you're just gonna sell it on eBay. Why? Why? Oh no, God, that sound like Lucy. Ricky. God, it's so stupid. So stupid. Oh my God. I'm actually tearing up. Oh my God, could I be an actor? I'm actually tearing up. Holy crap. No, it's because I was unleashing like actual feelings. Or no, I was just tearing up. I was acting ridiculous on camera and actually tearing up. Holy crap. No, I'm so devastated because I missed out on that yarn. Oh God, ridiculous person, for God's sake.